SMEs are the backbone of the Philippine economy. Unionbank has laid down the groundwork for creating an ecosystem helping businesses through an integrated user experience connecting key stakeholders in the ecosystem. SMEs can now have immediate access to financial service providers, points of sale or POS, accounting, inventory, human resources, tax and payroll services, supply chain management, and providing business communities and engagement in B2B and B2C marketplaces. In building that ecosystem, Unionbank Globallinker was born. It's an online platform with social networking capabilities that help SMEs manage and grow their businesses. On their first year of launch, they already have 33,000 SMEs signed up in the platform. Their promise: to become a one-stop hub for business owners. 4 pillars. Network with potential partners and suppliers from a global network of SMEs. Engage with thought leaders and create your own topics for discussion. Avail exclusive deals and offers from business solutions that will help aid an SME's business. Create a DIY e-commerce shop, linker.store.
I think one major role that Globallinker plays is its ability to create a digital platform that for business growth. It's a huge help because it provides for an avenue where businesses can interact, learn, and at the same time expand their networks.
Well, as a social media platform, Globallinker helps build the community of SMEs and link them to the right markets, suppliers, financiers, and advisors.
I've actually established a contact in Philippines who is interested in my product, and we are working on ways how we can do that. So hopefully, it materializes.
The future of the SME sector in the Philippines is endless. With fintech, business growth can accelerate by breaking down barriers, setting up important connections, and moving daily activities. Success is definite. It's just waiting to happen. The growth of SME filters to all levels of the Philippine society. This sector employs more than 60% of Filipinos. So many lives will be transformed with the success of SMEs. Unionbank Globallinker will be there to make it happen.
Hello, and we're live. Welcome to episode 9 of the Bounce Back 2021 Practical Coaching Series. And for this evening, I will discuss about Facebook ads for brand awareness and driving sales. So let's start. So about me, I am Nica ValdeaVilla, or you can call me Nica for short. I am a freelance Facebook ads media buyer. So basically, I am responsible for ad placements of my client, the setting up of Facebook campaigns, managing campaigns, as well as their ad budget, and of course, that includes tracking performance, monitoring daily results, and reporting on what's happening on their ads campaigns. So I have worked with advertising agencies and direct clients in the US, Canada, Australia, UK, and Saudi Arabia, to name a few, to manage their ads and scale their businesses profitably. So I've started doing Facebook ads media buying since around 2017. So almost 4 years experience, and I've handled about more than 40 ad accounts in the B2C e-com, info product, and lead gen space. I was also recognized as one of the top 100 Filipinos to follow on LinkedIn for learning and inspiration last year and in 2019. So, before I officially begin my presentation, I would like to thank our official partners, Bounce Back and Union Bank Globallinker. Okay, so some brands and agencies I've worked with, you might or might not be familiar with them. So these are a mix of local and foreign companies. So now we begin this episode with the question, why Facebook? So why is it a platform that advertisers should leverage? Well, according to Statista.com, as of 2020, there are 76.2 million Facebook users in the Philippines, and they spend about an average time of 4 hours and 1 minute daily. So, of course, if the market is using Facebook, why not leverage the platform to advertise your product or service, right? Apart from that reason that the market is using the Facebook platform, Facebook is also its ads platform is also a powerful targeting tool, which lets you, as they call it, laser target um, your target audience. So you can choose the specific interests that they are interested in, their demographics, their age, the placements, the even whether you want to show your ads on desktop or mobile. And of course, you can measure the results. So if you spend, for instance, 5,000 or 10,000 pesos for this particular week, you would know like the return on ad spend by checking it on the ads manager and seeing the metrics that matter to your business and knowing which areas to improve on. But of course, if there's a reason why you should use Facebook, so why not Facebook? Well, you've probably heard about the upcoming iOS 14 update. This specific update will actually ask users if they want to be tracked or not. So until now, we still don't know when that update would roll out on iOS devices. And of course, the more common issue, ad account bans, which have been happening left and right, whether here locally or even with foreign clients, they also experience some ad account bans. So sometimes it could be like a violation of Facebook's advertising policies. Sometimes, unfortunately, it's an error on Facebook's part. So, yeah, if for instance you encounter an ad account ban and you think it was a mistake, so you should definitely appeal that decision to Facebook. And then, of course, there's the confusion with using the ads manager, especially if you're just new to the platform. Like you don't know whether to use ABO or ad set budget optimization, or is it better to use CBO, which is campaign budget optimization. So, and sometimes you would even encounter in groups like proper way of managing your ad budget, or like with the scheduling and all those things that you need to learn about in the ads manager. And of course, there's also the possibility that if you put in an amount, it doesn't guarantee that you would get that in return. So it could be that you spend 5,000 pesos on ads, but you probably just generated three sales, which could possibly return to less than 100% return on ad spend. So lugi ka pa with what you've put on the ad spend. But then you should also know that and remember that Facebook ads is not a magical silver bullet that can transform your business. So, not because you hear it from other people generating 5 times or even 10 times the return on ad spend, is you can easily replicate it. So, it actually varies per industry or per product. And sometimes it's not on the ads platform that you need to really focus your attention to. There's no single approach that fits all. So possibly that this strategy works for this particular business, but in some cases, if you apply it to your own, hindi siya nag-work or doesn't provide the results that you are expecting. So even when you're targeting the right people and they land on your page, they still might not buy from you. So even though your campaigns, your creatives are in place, I mean set up properly, and you have good looking creatives, but then you're probably wondering, bakit kaya yung sales ko hindi pa rin yung ganong kataas? Or you're not hitting the target, your revenue target. So there are actually some reasons as to why that's happening. It could be that sa product, sa offer, or sometimes even the pricing. So you have to like look into the data, like depending on like if you see like people clicking on your ads, you have a high click through rate, and then yung conversion rate is quite low, then probably you need to tweak something on your landing page. So apart from that, it could be that people don't know if they can trust you. So you're probably just new, and then um, you're already asking them to buy from you. I think in a previous episode, si Sir John Orania mentioned about it, yung palengke situation, na someone just arrived and a vendor would call that person, "Oy, suki." So ngayon ka palang nakita, suki ka na agad. It could also be that they're unsure if your product will solve their problem, or the journey or buying process needs improvement. So as I was saying a while ago, it could be that when they landed on your product page or landing page, it wasn't clear to them on what to do next, or it could be that when they click on the button, it's not working. So there are some considerations as to why the conversion rate is not as you expect it to be. So if you think na, okay, already have my ad budget, I already have my ad account in place, my Facebook page, do you really think you're ready for Facebook ads? So sometimes I meet potential clients asking me if they want to utilize Facebook ads. They want to use the ads manager to scale their business. But when I look at their page, sometimes it's empty, or walang or the previously published content was like months ago. It could also be that um, they're very new, or like hindi pa aware yung market dun sa product and needs further nurturing or brand awareness, educating their target market. So what do I recommend to them na hopeless case na ba if I see some things like that na I think may kailangan pang ayusin with the offer or with the funnel, or for instance nga yung content on their Facebook page. What I tell them to do is actually to focus on their Facebook page first. So what I mean by that is increasing your Facebook page engagement. So sabi nga nila, mahirap in terms of organic marketing sa Facebook kasi Facebook's algorithm actually favors paid ads. And yun nga, there's too much noise, I would say. So sobrang daming posts on your feed, I would say, and probably yung mga posts from pages you follow, very rarely na makakita ka on your feed. Unless it's a high quality content. So, number 2 point would be sharing educational, engaging, and or relevant content. So, hindi siya basta you would post something, wala lang, randomly. I would post on my page just so I have content on my Facebook page. So, if you really want to nurture your target audience, or if you really want them to engage with your posts, it should be informative or educational and relevant to them. It should resonate to them. Kasi if that's the case, sometimes it would lead to like a high increase in engagement, like yung reactions and even yung shares. So yeah, that's definitely important. In terms of what to post or how often to post, someone asked me before na should it be like how many times in a day, or like how often should I post? Well, the answer is based as well on my research and also on my observation with my clients, is to focus on the quality. So if it's high quality content, even when you post like at least 3 times a week, you would still get good engagement for your Facebook page. You would also want to consider the timing of when you post either photos or articles on your Facebook page. So it could be that most of your target audience are actually engaging with your posts probably around 10 a.m. or lunchtime, or could be in the evening. So definitely I would recommend testing various times of posting, and then you would be able to see dun sa page insights like what would be the best time for you to publish or schedule your posts. And of course, know what your audience wants. Um, it's important that you have a variety of content to know more about your audience. Are they people who are into watching videos, or do they like parang a collection of photos or like single image ba? So definitely create a variety of content so that you would know, okay, this particular post, it had like over 2,000 reactions, probably because I did this or this image or even the topic. So you would know, okay, if for instance I talk about this, let's say you're in the finance industry and your target, and you have a target audience na yung mga people who are looking into investing. So if you have various content, you would know, they're more interested in like investing in the stock market or like mutual funds. So yeah, definitely I would definitely recommend creating a variety of content. In addition to that, those tips that I've previously gave, don't sell too much. So I also noticed some Facebook pages wherein at the end of their post they would put like buy now or shop now. So medyo your target audience might find it irritating or hard sell. You might scare them, especially if they're just casually browsing and they're still trying to get to know you. Na okay, what is this page about, or what is it here in this page that could benefit me, or like is it going to give me information that I'm looking for? These two are actually examples of some of previous clients I've worked with. So yeah, I didn't put anything about buying or like purchasing or even signing up as a lead, for instance. So yeah, don't sell too much. Another way is to feature testimonials or reviews from customers. So maganda rin siyang way to build your social proof and trust, especially if you're still new. You would want to get as much as reviews and testimonials so that when there's a potential customer, pagpunta niya sa page mo, he or she will see na, okay, there were people who bought previously and had a good experience with the transaction. So it actually gives them a sense of relief na, okay, I can trust this business. I will have a also that they will expect na okay din and smooth yung transaction. Okay. And then, eto na yung with boosting. So, if you're consistently posting on your Facebook page, so regularly, and then makikita mo if when you're able to identify your top posts or yung posts that your target audience loves, magno-notify niya si Facebook na post this post to increase your reach to this number. So, it also happens to me even with my personal page. Facebook would notify me na, hey, Nica, this post of yours is actually getting traction. Why don't you boost it to extend your organic reach? Well, here's a tip. Don't click it as is, na parang don't boost to everyone, thinking na if I boost it to everyone, the higher the chances that I'm able to reach my target market. So, syempre, kasi we're talking about millions of people who might be targeted. But then, they might not find it relevant. So, sayang lang yung pera na inilalagay mo dun sa ad. Kasi, while a lot of people are actually seeing that particular post that you've boosted, hindi naman siya relevant eh. So, why bother? It's a waste of ad budget. Pero ano nga bang difference when you use the boost? So, yeah. If you click on boost post, it's actually reaching more people who may be interested in your product. So, by that, amplifying, extending your reach. So, for instance, this was let's just start it again. This was a sample walkthrough of a boost. So, if you see here, if I click on that, the goal would be like get more website visitors, get more messages, get more engagement, more leads, more calls. Pero walang nakalagay dito na get more sales, right? So, yan. These are just the goals. Yeah, and very limited. So what you can only do is select the location. Yeah, similar to what you can also do on the Ads Manager platform. Speed up natin ng konti. Yeah. So you can select the devices that you want your ad to be seen in, and yun, you just set the duration, like what's your total budget, and then just click on boost now. So definitely easy. So yeah, now you can select a placement but not really the specific device. Okay. So, as you've noticed kanina, with the goals, wala naman nakalagay na get more sales. So, definitely when you use boost, it doesn't translate to sales. So, it's more for brand awareness, engagement, getting more visitors. But yeah. So, if you've tried boosting a post before and you noticed, okay, bakit hindi ako nakabenta or walang sale? That's because boosting is not equal to sales. But, so ito na. But if you're keen to learn more about your target market, you're prepared to invest and lose. So, emphasis on lose, money and time for testing, and you really are determined to scale your business, then you're probably, or most likely, ready to dive into the world of Facebook ads. So what you need, a Facebook page with, again, with emphasis on the relevant and regularly updated content, which I discussed a while ago. Preferably a website. So hindi naman siya required. You can definitely still use the ads manager even when you don't have a website. Of course, you need an ad account, a business manager account that's preferably verified, and a credit card or PayPal account for your payments. Apart from this, there's also this new update na kailangan daw verified na rin yung domain on the business manager. So this is actually a way of Facebook's preparation for the upcoming iOS 14 update. So marami naging changes. Just a heads up with the ads manager. Okay, so we've talked about the Facebook page, how it's important to post relevant educational content. We've also touched base on boosting. So let's go into the ads manager part. So if you're a complete beginner, don't worry. I will try to explain this as simple as I can. There might be times na I might sound too technical, but if ever you have any questions that you need clarifying on, so you can definitely message me. So let's have a look at the ads manager. So this is a sample or like a sample view of my personal ad account. So yeah, now with there are 4 tabs, campaigns, ads, and ads. So if you're a complete beginner, like when I started 4 years ago, medyo shocking. Like how do I start? Which metric should I look at? How do I navigate this, set up, blah blah. Um, it's easy to confuse, especially if you look at it for the first time. But it's actually it can actually be simplified into this. So you have a campaign, and then in campaign you can have like up up to how many, I think, ad sets. I'm not entirely sure on the exact number, but I think more than 20. And then for each ad set, you can have like, for instance, 1, 2, 3 ads, or even sometimes other advertisers or business owners have like up to 10, 15 ads. So depending on how the performance is going. But yeah, simply speaking, the campaign level is where the business goal is all about. So it's the campaign level. I will explain more on this. And then the ad set level is where you target your audience. And then for the ad level, that's actually the copy and the creative. Okay, so the campaign level. So this is actually the first one you see if you want to create a new campaign. So you would see what is your marketing objective or what is your business goal. So ask yourself, why do you want to use Facebook ads for your product or for your business? Is it for brand awareness? You want to reach more people? You want to drive traffic to your site? It could also be that you want to generate leads or for people to send messages to your page. It could also be that you want them to convert or like make a purchase, or it could be add to cart, initiate checkout, or catalog sales, for instance. So yeah, there are a lot of objectives that you can choose from. So if you're having like some problems thinking which one should I select, you could look into this conversion traffic funnel, wherein there are 3 stages. So the awareness stage, the consideration stage, and the decision stage. So ano lang siya, awareness, consideration. So conversion is just more of the decision. So here's an example. So I need some ideas on how to grow my business, but I don't know where to begin. So it could be that you are what this person is looking for, and hey, parang you tell this person, this is what we offer, or this is what our business is about. Parang you're telling them a story about what you do or what your product is all about. And then there's the consideration stage. So for this person, I've found some new options from this businesses via their blog. So hindi lang naman ikaw yung nag-offer ng ganung product or service. So this person is now considering, should I go for company A or should I go for company B? Or yeah, they're looking into your could probably checking your Facebook page, looking at your website, for instance, to know more information about you. And of course, the decision stage. So yeah, just need to narrow it down so I can choose the right one. So most likely, if they enter this, they're actually leaning to buying from you. So I would say they're on the hot traffic na part na parang konting nudge na lang, they would eventually purchase from you. Okay, so some examples of ads. So here, discover how Upwork can simplify your life. So this one is an example of, I would say, an awareness type. How was your last Facebook ad? So there's a lead magnet for lead generation. And then could also be that for catalog sales. So especially if you visit this particular website, there is a high chance that you could be retargeted by this company because of their Facebook pixel. um, so yeah, those are, of course, we're all familiar with the different types of ads which we often see on our Facebook feed. So the ad set level, or how you target your audience, the first question that you need to ask is, how well do you know your audience? So it definitely helps if you have a customer research in place. So you know, like, what are their pains, what are their emotional whys, as they call it. How does their typical day look like? So are they more into fitness? Uh, are they into makeup? Are they also tech savvy? How off are they, like, people who often buy online? So you need to imagine, like, how does their typical day look like? What do they do in the morning, in the afternoon? Because you would need those information when you actually put the info on this particular fields. So you would want to know, like, where are these people living in. So for instance, you're advertising locally. So if you want to advertise then to the entire Philippines, or you are looking to show your ads only to specific regions like Metro Manila, Calabar zone, or Central Luzon. And then of course you can select the age. Like, if you want your ads to be seen by people age 25 and above. For gender, if you want to both gender, men and women, or just your products are only catered to women. And of course, we have this field called the detailed targeting. So this is where it gets really interesting. So you can choose their education, financial, life events, parents, relationship, work. So yeah, you would be, especially if you're new to this, you would be surprised as to how much information Facebook knows about us. So that's why there's an issue on data privacy, because Facebook definitely knows a lot about our day to day activities. That's because it helps the algorithm to personalize our feed as well. So that when we log into Facebook, what we see on our feed is actually what we find relevant to us. So yeah, even anniversary, even the mobile device type, purchase behavior, yeah. So another thing that I wanted to emphasize is the Facebook pixel. So this is actually my website. I've installed a Facebook pixel here so that when someone lands on this page, I could retarget them. Or for instance, a familiar scenario would be when you visit sites like ano ba, airlines, or even e-commerce marketplace with the pixel installed. So when you go back to Facebook, or you would see yung previously viewed products na browse mo sa site nila. That's because that website has a pixel installed. So one way of knowing that, if you want to know if this website has a pixel or not, you can download this Facebook Pixel Helper, and you would be able to see na, okay, this website actually has a pixel installed. Okay, and then apart from the audience targeting, you can also target by placement, so automatic or manual. Difference lang with automatic and manual is if you select automatic placements, it Facebook automatically selects the placements where your ads will be placed. If manual, you can choose na, okay, I just show my ads on the news feed, or Facebook lang, or Instagram lang, or it could be Facebook stories or Instagram stories. And then budget and schedule. So you can choose whether you're using daily or lifetime budgets for your campaigns. So for daily, it's you can actually set it as daily and continuous. So basta you give like, I would want 1,000 daily ad budget for my campaigns. So it would run continuously. Na every day it would spend 1,000 pesos. And if lifetime naman, let's say, okay, I don't want to spend 1,000 pesos per day, but I think that particular budget, I want to spend it for like 2 days, or let's say a stretch 3 days. So for that, it could mean that Facebook will spend like 200 pesos on the first day, and then let's say 300 on the second day, and then meron ka pang remaining na 500, so it would spend it on the third day, so that yung buong 1,000 pesos mo was spent on those 3 days. It could also be that so kung merong continuous, meron ding defined, especially if you're using lifetime budget. Like, okay, I want to run this ad only until, for instance, next week. Or even for daily, while you want to spend 1,000 pesos on a daily basis, you can say na, okay, by the 15th of February, I no longer want to run this particular campaign. So you can put an end date as to when you want the campaign to stop running. Okay, next would be the ad level. So we discussed about the campaign level, which talks about your business goal, and then the ad set level for your audience targeting. So now we move to the ad level, where you set up your creative and your ad copy. So when you create an ad, you have the option whether to choose a single image or video. Could also be a carousel, similar to the Zalora ad that I showed a while ago. Or it could also be a collection ad. So a sample of a collection ad, sometimes so you see a video placed on this like rectangle, and then yung specific products or product variants associated with that brand, makikita mo siya dito sa 4 small squares. So that's just a difference between the collection and carousel. So for this one, parang nag-open siya into a canvas, so that you can check other relevant products or that entire product set. So different ad formats depending on the goal. So you can make use of photos, videos, slideshows, stories, etc. So yeah, this is how you would set up the ad. So this is where you put the text, headline, description. Of course, you would need a link for this particular type of ad. This is a conversion ad, so it's definitely asking for a website URL. Okay, so you might be wondering, what are the ideal ad images? Like if I would use images, kasi based on my page performance or the insights that I got from my regular content posting, I actually get good engagement when I'm posting single ad images, for instance. So while you were doing the regular posting of content, that's what you've found out. Here are some best ad image practices that you might want to consider when creating ad images. So the element of human connection. So kapag daw may tao, higher yung chances na mag-click yung target audience mo. Contrasting colors. So nagpa-pop siya dun sa feed, and because it's striking, or yun nga, it would make them stop and click on that ad if they find it relevant to them. And ideally, you would want to put your branding so that alam agad nila na, okay, when I see this ad, this one actually is from this particular company. Another factor that they say is a good practice is like showing them a result, or like the goal of the result in using your product or service. And a clear CTA as well also works. Like, what do you want them to do? Like, learn more, for instance. So how about for the ad copy? So you would want to grab their attention. A clear and pretty copy. So hindi siya yung by clear and pretty copy, it's not supposed to be like yung very flowery type of content, but it's just neat and clean, so that when they see your ad, they would immediately be able to read it. And then the ad should definitely communicate the benefits or the pain that your audience is experiencing. So what's the benefit of your product, and then you're also addressing their pains. Speak to your audience. So that's very important. You wouldn't want to sound like a robot, or like your audience would definitely not click on your ad if they find something that's, I don't know, like highly irrelevant to them. If they would find it irrelevant to them, na this one is like speaking unfamiliar language to me, so why would I bother reading the entire copy? And then would also be good to have your call to action, like shop now or click here to learn more, and the landing page link. So you can put both, although you can have it set up through the ad level part of ads manager. You can put the landing page link. You can also have it on the ad copy para once they read the entire ad, they can immediately click on it. So kahit hindi na sila mag-scroll down to click on the CTA button, but they can immediately click your landing page link. Now you probably want to, the goal is to make them thumbs up. So yeah, when you're mindlessly scrolling through your Facebook feed, yung ad talaga is your main goal should be to make them stop. So make them thumb stop. Make that thumb stop, like a thumb stopping, or in what other coaches or experts call stop scrolling ads. So some ads that I've been targeted, and I think are actually ads that have those factors in. So like for instance, this one, my white background, so it really makes the products pop. And need, for instance, in the copy, and then here, there's actually a solution, like because a lot of kids are having their online classes, like protect those eyes. So it communicates the benefits of protect those eyes. So you might be wondering, which should I use or implement? So again, the ones I've mentioned in the past slides are actually like some of the best ad image and ad creative practices. So you might be wondering, so dapat ba ito yung i-incorporate ko sa ads ko or in my ad copy? Well, it would actually, while it's good to have those as a way to guide you when you're creating your copy or your creative, I would definitely recommend checking the competition. So you might want to visit Facebook's ad library and see what competitors are doing. It could be competitors who are selling almost the same product, or pwede rin na in a different industry, but you just want to see like how are they doing things. So yeah, if you visit Facebook ad library, just make sure to click on search all and then search for ads by keyword or advertiser name. You would be able to see the ads that are currently running. In terms of the locations lang, just take note na if it's a foreign country, sometimes kasi it's automatically selected yung Philippines. So you might just want to change it to all so that you would be able to see the ads that they're running for other countries. So, reminder, ads should always be truthful, relevant, and useful. Because apart from the ad account bans that I've mentioned at the beginning of the start of my presentation, wherein sometimes there's an error on Facebook's part, and in some cases it has to do something with your product na hindi siya allowed, or it could be sunod-sunod na ad rejections. So, tip lang, when your ads get rejected, and for instance, you appeal it and again, it gets rejected again, i-delete mo na siya. There's no sense in keeping that rejected ad on your ad account kasi it can even send signals to Facebook na you're advertising something illegal or you're trying to advertise something illegal. So, it sends negative signals to Facebook na might cause an ad account ban. So, if you review the advertising policy, so nandun naka-detailed yung products na prohibited on the ads manager, and also yung discriminatory ads or like ads na parang talks about like you know something about that person. Like for instance, you're selling let's say mouthwash and then you ask the person, do you suffer from bad breath? Of course, automatic reject na agad yon because you don't want that person to assume na, hey, this company or this company actually knows about my issue, for instance. So, definitely a no-no kasi what would happen is ayaw na ni user gumamit ng Facebook kasi they find some ads like that it makes them uncomfortable. So, if you would just summarize it, yung gist ng policies is ads should be truthful, relevant, and useful. Because Facebook looks at your quality as an advertiser. So, always keep this in mind. It actually rewards you with cheaper ad costs if you prioritize user value. So, for some na are struggling with high CPMs, this it might be the case na you would want to improve on your user value because the auction, just a reminder, works like this. So medyo magi-introduce ako ng mas a bit technical formula. So the bid, kasi the way that ads are actually seen, for instance, on your feed is through bidding. Bidding ng mga companies or like depending on their product or service or their industry. So depending on, for instance, company A would bid 10 pesos and then company B would bid 15 pesos. So higher bid, probably it would go to company B. So bid value for the desired outcome, and then the times estimated action rate. So the probability that your audience will actually make that outcome that you're desiring. So, ano yung probability na they would sign up as a lead, they would visit your site. So, Facebook's algorithms, so they have multiple algorithms, they consider it your bid value and then your estimated action rate. So that's why and with some advertisers they're actually using manual bidding kasi it could be their the industry where they want to advertise is masyadong mataas yung bids ng competitor, so they would want to use manual bids so that there's a higher chance na makita sa auction. And then so yeah, bid value times estimated action rate. Of course, yeah, plus relevance and quality. So ito yung medyo overlook. So you really have to optimize the consumer experience. So you have to keep in mind that you should always provide value to your target audience. I guess some final tips. You don't need to spend a huge amount to start. Actually, bawal siya na like you immediately spend, or in some cases I think hindi rin siya allowed because there are some caps, I think, na especially for if you're a first time advertiser. I think there's a ceiling na Facebook would allow you to like spend for ads. So yeah, you don't really need to spend a huge amount. You can start small. I mean, you can even start like for the boosts, or yun nga, just to test like okay, if I would generate more engagement if for instance I boost this post. So you could start small, and yeah, make room for testing. So in my 4 years of experience running Facebook ads, I always make sure that clients are aware there should be like a specific period for testing. Kasi we're still trying to figure out will this audience respond better to your ads, or is it this group of audience na mag-convert. So yeah, make room for testing. Kasi more often than not, it would take, I guess, 1 week, 2 weeks before you finally see like, okay, this specific audience would be like my focus in the next few weeks. And then don't expect a high return on ad spend when you're just starting out. Again, testing, and you could also use that time frame to learn more about your audience. Na okay, for instance, in your test, you want to test whether they prefer videos or single images. It could be na your assumption is that they engage better when it's a video, but when you run the campaign, mas nag-engage pala sila sa single images. So, wag kang masyadong ma-down if you're not seeing yet a high return. Kasi it's for really learning more about your target market. And last but not the least, there are other channels to leverage apart from Facebook. So especially that in the next few months, I would say, especially with the iOS 14 update, na mas mahirapan daw with the tracking. So we still don't know up to what extent the impact would be. Consider other channels. So as they say nga, omni-channel marketing. So there are cases na for some businesses, Facebook works for them, but in some scenarios, mas nag-work pala sa kanilang YouTube ads. So yeah, there are other channels that you can definitely choose. And that ends my presentation. So if you want to learn more about some of the info that I've shared, you can find me on LinkedIn, email me, or message me on Facebook. Let's check if we have some questions. Okay, so I think I have about 5 minutes left to answer questions. The first question is, how do you measure quality of content? What would you say the content drivers? Again, I guess this would depend on the target audience. Like if they're more into videos, or like are there more of reading blogs, for instance. So I would say definitely test various types, and then you would see naman on the page insights based on the results na parang okay, this particular post is getting traction. So I would create more of it. Uh-huh. Another question is, are photos that are not professionally designed, real and photos from phone camera, effective? This one's interesting kasi what I've noticed in some of my clients' campaigns, mas nagge-generate ng engagement when it's a user-generated content. I think it's because more people can see na it's realistic rather than staged or arranged by the company who's advertising. Another question is, how do you recover a banned ad account? um, this one's, I would say, a bit hard because it could be that meron talagang na-violate si client or si business owner dun sa advertising policies. But I would definitely recommend, if you think na wala naman talagang na-violate, is appealing it to Facebook. If worst case scenario, you might need to create a new business manager and ad account. So that's why nire-recommend din ng most experts to have at least 2 ad accounts. Sometimes nga sasabihin nila, I think it's possible 2 business managers. Para if in case an ad account actually gets banned, yung data from that particular, if you share the pixel, it would actually be, you can still access it through the other ad account. We have another question here. So how many times does an ad appear to a single target audience? This would depend, I would say, on the frequency. So if you look at the frequency score of your campaign, so you would know if it's being shown to your target audience quite often. So if it's around 5, 6, I would say, there's a high probability na they're seeing your ads more than thrice. So you might need to switch creatives. But if it's 1, 2, I think you're pretty good. It could also be that you're not excluding your customers, so that's why they find it irrelevant na parang, okay, I already bought from this company, but then they're still showing the ad to me. So just make sure to exclude your existing customers or like people who purchased already. I guess we can have one more question. What is the suggested ad budget when you are just starting? For local siguro, I guess yung sinabi ko nga, start small. Probably around 15, 20 a month. Pero yun nga, if you're just looking into boosts, pwede siguro like under 10,000. Kasi you're just getting the hang of it. So I would say like around that amount. And what other questions do we have? Are there any notable ads or ad companies you can recommend for us to study and emulate? For this question, I would recommend checking yung competitor. So you would mostly know your competitor. So have a look at the ads that they're running and you study like what types of creatives are they using, or like are they using English in their ad copy, or is it Taglish? What common mistakes in advertising should I avoid? Okay, I guess wala na tayong time for questions. So definitely if you have more questions, you can reach out to me via LinkedIn or Facebook or email. Again, we would like to thank our corporate partners, Unionbank Globallinker and Resellee. And of course, don't forget to also join the next sessions of the Bounce Back 2021 Practical Coaching Series. Episodes 11 to 13 will happen tomorrow, 4 p.m., 6 p.m., and 8 p.m. So again, thank you for watching today's session.
SMEs are the backbone of the Philippine economy. Unionbank has laid down the groundwork for creating an ecosystem helping businesses through an integrated user experience connecting key stakeholders in the ecosystem. SMEs can now have immediate access to financial service providers, points of sale or POS, accounting, inventory, human resources, tax and payroll services, supply chain management, and providing business communities and engagement in B2B and B2C marketplaces. In building that ecosystem, Unionbank Globallinker was born. It's an online platform with social networking capabilities that help SMEs manage and grow their businesses. On their first year of launch, they already have 33,000 SMEs signed up in the platform. Their promise: to become a one-stop hub for business owners. 4 pillars. Network with potential partners and suppliers from a global network of SMEs. Engage with thought leaders and create your own topics for discussion. Avail exclusive deals and offers from business solutions that will help aid an SME's business. Create a DIY e-commerce shop, linker.store.
I think one major role that Globallinker plays is its ability to create a digital platform that, for business growth, is a huge help because it provides for an avenue where businesses can interact, learn, and at the same time expand their networks.
Well, as a social media platform, Globallinker helps build the community of SMEs and link them to the right markets, suppliers, financiers, and advisors.
I've actually established a contact in Philippines who is interested in my product, and we are working on ways how we can do that. So hopefully, it materializes.
The future of the SME sector in the Philippines is endless. With fintech, business growth can accelerate by breaking down barriers, setting up important connections, and moving daily activities. Success is definite. It's just waiting to happen. The growth of SME filters to all levels of the Philippine society. This sector employs more than 60% of Filipinos. So many lives will be transformed with the success of SMEs. Unionbank Globallinker will be there to make it happen.